Another song. What do you guys want to hear this time around?
How about something that's not on our record? Because we play those songs every night. No, just kidding. I'm not going to be listening to the show. So.
Well, you mentioned none of them knew they were robots.
None of them knew. That's definitely one of my favorites on there. So
stunning piece.
This next song is "None of Them Knew They Were Robots." Guess what, Trevor? We're back again. Those of you just joining us, for those of you who haven't been paying attention, talking to Trevor and Rhoda from Mr. Bungle. I guess just how's the touring going around this time? Is it?
It's going good. It's gone better. It's going better than the last tour that we just did.
The summer tour.
Yeah.
With Dillinger.
Yeah, we have a better crew, just a better setup. It's but touring is always fairly grueling experience.
Yeah.
A lot of driving, a lot of eating crap. Yeah, it works. And there's in the truck, the budget truck, there's a little cubby hole that you can sleep in next to all the merchandise.
So no major problems, no explosions, no injuries.
Well, there has been a little problem. Every single night, of course, as everyone's pointed out, we do set up a small shrine to Frank Zappa and Sun Ra in the back, and we pray to it every night. And we've had a little problem every once in a while setting that up in time for the show. It gets a little difficult, but there it is.
I think you guys don't appreciate the constant Frank Zappa questions.
I was thinking about that today because there was an article in the New York Times, which is great, a review of the show, and it's pretty exciting to be in a big paper like that. But whoever wrote the damn article, it looked like all their research was based on other articles. They credited all the writing to Mike, which is not true. If they'd bought any of the records, they would know.
It's Mr. Bungle's not necessarily an easy band to grasp at first, so people tend to grasp at straws when describing it,
and grasp at the easiest.
In the words of Robert Fripp, I take it as a given that a music review.
tells you
more about the person reviewing
the record than the record itself. Thank you. This is Robert Fripp signing off.
Thank you, Danny Heifetz.
That was a brief cameo appearance by Danny Heifetz.
As Robert Fripp, in Robert Fripp form.
The Zappa thing actually, yeah. Who? Why, yes, he is.
So should have done a little more.
Yeah. I'll help you out with that. Let me just complete that thought, if I may.
Yes, please.
The one thing, Zappa did have a certain kind of sense of humor. He did have a certain kind of darkness, a certain kind of cynicism about his humor. I do see that kind of thing in Bungle. I think the other thing probably is that people have asked the band a lot, I've noticed, about the orchestration on the album and why did you choose to put so much horns and violins. And I have to say, a lot of bands use orchestration on their records, but what they do is they play, the band is basically, here's the guitar riff, here's the tune. It's basically based around the guitar riff, and that's all they do. In Bungle, you are, like Zappa, talking about composition, and the French horns and everything else is not in there simply to gloss up or sort of polish up the guitar rock underneath. It's really part of it. This is a band that composes their music, and if there's anything in common with Frank Zappa, I would say it's the fact that the band is rigorous about their compositional acuity.
Just because it was mentioned by you, Trevor, earlier in the interview, the whole California meets Californication. I've just been reading up on some tensions. My main question about the whole Chili Pepper situation are there any apologies for the Halloween show?
Not from us. Are you kidding?
I've read about it, and I was in hysterics for quite a while.
The Chili Peppers should apologize for us having to do it in the first place.
Yeah, the Chili Peppers should apologize for us for screwing up our personal lives. We had tours planned that we had to cancel because they wouldn't do the shows with us, and it really screwed us up, screwed up my life in a personal way.
Is there a roots of that long ago, or is this just?
There's been some conjecture about it. All I can tell you is their management will not give us any particular explanation, other than the fact that the band itself as a whole is somewhat embarrassed by the whole episode, but that it is Mr. Anthony Kiedis in particular who has made it absolutely clear that he will not perform with Mr. Bungle in any way, shape, or form. It is in particular.
And there's only one person in the band that he's ever met or spoken to, so what his problem is beyond me. I'm sure it has something to do with rehab.
It could be, have something to do with the fact that he can barely get off his ass every 6 years to make something even less creative than the album he made before, whereas people like Mike Patton and Mr. Bungle continue to make creative records year in and year out. But that's just a hunch.
Okay. Well, it looks like we're closing up the interview here in a second. We have Jello Biafra coming to Guilford College in April, and we're wondering if you guys maybe if we can slide you onto the bill, we'll give you what do we have in the budget? $500 in free beer.
Well, if you can get that to us before we start driving, it's possible that we'll make it.
We have been speaking to
who's Jello Biafra? Just kidding.
We've been speaking to Trevor Dunn and Roto from Mr. Bungle tonight. Any closing remarks? Any last words? Anything you want to say to the population of Guilford College and its surrounding area?
Go to school, go to work, go to hell, you fucking jerk.
And remember, the more you drink, the better we sound.
Thanks, guys. I guess we're going to close up with another tune from California, and
why don't you play Holy Filament, because I wrote that, and I'll get
We'll-
more
we'll-
money,
we'll,
from the publishing.
The licensing.
well, you
is
also
enormous on
wrote
that.
Retrovertigo, and we did play that one, but we'll
No,
give them
play
a
whatever you want.
we'll give a slow ending. We'll play the Holy Filament. This is the Holy Filament by Mr. Bungle. Thanks for the interview, guys, and I hope you have a good show tonight.
Thanks.
All right.